Alternative reality games. What are they? Mysteries seem like they are derived from real incidents. However, they are pure works of fiction. Or are they? Made to entice the watcher into solving them. There are a lot of these kinds, and are almost always related to horror elements. Still confused what an ARG is? Well, let me demonstrate. In this video, I'm dissecting my top 10 Minecraft ARGs. And just a quick disclaimer before we begin, there are already some videos for these topics. I'll link them in the description. And also, this is my personal opinion. If you have other entries or different opinions, I'm happy to listen or debate in the comments. Let's get started. Number 10. Just kidding, I ain't doing a countdown. I'll start with Herobrine. Wait.
Hold on.
I know what you're gonna say.
Oh, how are you putting Herobrine here? He's so good.
Well, you see, he's the oldest and most popular in the creepypasta. I'm stretching the definition of an ARG, but I believe he's a necessary inclusion. He's the foundation of other ARGs. You might find him childish, but don't act like his thought never crossed your mind. When you were a child, playing Minecraft, not having the tiniest clue about anything, playing alone in the dark, building, mining, doing anything. And whatever happened that was out of the ordinary, Herobrine. It was that feeling you had of loneliness and uneasiness of playing alone. And I believe that is what sparked his creation. Alongside him, I want to include the biggest ones that happened because of Herobrine, in my opinion, as these ARGs have the entity in your world, like the Entity 303, 404, the Well ARG, and many more so. Alright, let's get started with some real ones. This is a mystery about a Minecraft file hidden in the code. There's a really big story behind this, and I can't really give you every detail, but in summary, it was a file hidden deep in the Moja code, password protected. I thought it had real life implications, because you see, in there could be anything. My more grounded guess would be an unreleased version of Minecraft, where at the time it was the future to come Xbox version. Anyway, I'm not spoiling everything, but if you're interested, check this guy for his analysis of this one. Now we're getting into the real deal. This one starts in a Guess the Murderer mystery game with 7 players. It unfolds in a Minecraft village, and the people try to find the killer. There is also a poisoner, a doctor, a protector, a nurse, a neighbor. Yeah, it gets complicated. You try to find the killer with the players, watching the YouTube videos in an unfinished series, so you have to take an educated guess at the end. Also through going to the sites, visiting Minecraft worlds, real life phone numbers. A big puzzle. I mention this ARG because the way the creator involves himself in the story and in a real or not death is fascinating and heartbreaking at the same time, and I would highly recommend you give it a watch. A story about a person unearthing Minecraft mysteries only for himself to fall into himself. This one really made me feel defeated, seeing this person's journey and the descent into madness and unknowing, probable, use of drugs. Well, at the beginning, he was trying to find Easter eggs between the moon and Minecraft, solving a Minecraft ARG. However, he went down a rabbit hole that made him an obsessed, isolated lunatic. He sank into his own beliefs, believing that the moon agents were trying to get him. At the end, he gets better. He goes to therapy and he tries to put his life together. However, the damage is irreparable. Either the moon or the drugs or Minecraft being the culprit. In my opinion, the message stands on the destructive effects of drugs. This is a shorter one, being in an older version of Minecraft, depicting a player trying to fight and play with a world that removes blocks and whole chunks. The videos aren't in order, and a lot of symbolisms and cryptic messages are present. But this tells a story about loss. A loss of a friend. He clings to him, clings to this world. And this series is a story of him fighting his emotions. And at the end, finally, to come in terms with it. The reality. To accept it. And to make a beginning. To move on. A series of live streams where the creator makes videos in an alpha version of Minecraft. On the surface, he is building random structures, having random items scattered, and saying, initially, random things. As you continue through the streams, and you start piecing every clue together, get up an address, a mail, a password. Everything to scream for help. You get the attention of someone, anyone, from the outside world. At the end, someone finally catches on and discovers the truth. Child kidnapping incident. Fortunately, this one has a happier ending. What happens when a cocky, arrogant person meets a manipulator? Well, we get tragedies. This is a similar story. It starts with a player being bored and wanting to play something captivating, interesting, with some horror involved. He gets an invitation to play a world that's supposed with anomalies. This instantly gets his attention and he begins. He puts in a horror data pack and he plays. He repeatedly ignores the instructions made by the rules of this bizarre world, rushes, oblivious to the danger he will put himself into. eventually getting himself dealing with higher powers beyond his understanding. I'll let you guess how this one ends. A beautifully narrated psychological story about a murderer in a custom map with 8 players. Well, the premise is simple. Among Us, but in Minecraft. But there are twists. No name tags, so you don't know who you're talking to. With signs, the only communication method. You're equipped with a crossbow and arrows. 1 arrow, to be exact. To shoot a person, make him glow and reveal his name. And the last twist, people can switch positions. The game has 6 videos, so the game never concludes. But it's up to you, your imagination, your problem solving, to find who the real killer, and if the innocent players even win. At the crossroads, don't turn left. This is what Avery finds written in a book, hidden in a mine he didn't mine, in a world he didn't create, in a device that isn't his. The book reads, "Whatever you do, at the crossroads, don't turn left." Avery has no idea what this is and keeps playing. The first part ends here. The second one begins with our protagonist for the rest of the ARG exploring a cave that slowly transitions to an eerie man-made construction. He navigates and solves every puzzle. However, close to the end, his name flickers, revealing his real name, Their Lord. The protagonist has changed. At the end of the crossroad, he gets face to face with the one that made him go through all this. Something or someone. The King in Yellow. A cosmic deity, a being with all the knowledge in the universe. And he decides to force-give the secrets of the universe, Their Lord. He tanks the hit and runs to the exit to put a warning for Avery. The very book at the beginning telling him, "At the crossroads, don't turn left." And this concludes the top 10. Agree? Disagree? Let me know. And like for a part 2. Thanks for watching. Until next time.